Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I wanted to do my reaction to Don Henley testifying before Congress, and I'm not going to be reacting to this whole video because it's an hour long, but I'm going to react to the most important part. And I think the most important part's like 3-4 minutes here, but this is just so ridiculous. And if you read the title of this video, Eagles singer Don Henley was testifying before the U.S. Congress. He was testifying online, so they can't really meet in person because of the virus situation, but he was testifying online before the U.S. Congress, and he was arguing that YouTube copyright should be even stricter. He wants it to be even stricter. Now, we've covered copyright a lot on this channel, and you guys have seen from my channel alone just how broken the copyright system is. He's arguing that the copyright system right now favors creators. That is what he was arguing. And it doesn't favor music companies at all. I don't know how he can make this statement at all, and he's acting like music companies don't abuse copyright. My channel alone is proof of just the ridiculous copyright claims that I've gotten. And I'm not the only channel that feels this way. Across YouTube, there are hundreds of thousands of channels that have been hit by ridiculous copyright claims where companies just like UMG, Universal Music Group, come in on their videos, they take out like a few seconds of supposed copyright material, then they monetize that video and take all of that creator's revenue. So somebody can spend days making a video, even weeks. UMG can come out of nowhere and say, yeah, this video is ours. They can claim it, and then what happens is when you try to dispute the claim, well, guess what? They are the same people that review it, the same people that accused you of taking their copyrighted material. And what happens is most of the time they say no. If you try to dispute it a second time, then I believe it goes to YouTube at that point, and if YouTube does not agree with you, you can get a copyright strike. And these companies, if YouTube finds out that you're in the right and it's under fair use what you're doing, all they get is a slap on the wrist, and they don't get their copyright privileges revoked, they don't get any kind of punishment, but YouTube channels get punished all the time. And Don Henley, in this video, is actually defending UMG. He is defending UMG, which I like to call the music mafia. These guys are the biggest abusers of copyright on YouTube. So let's watch this right now, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on this. This is just so ridiculous. And look, I'm not hating on Don Henley here or his music, but this guy just has no idea what he's talking about. Absolutely no idea. And this is proof alone of celebrities that are just out of touch. They're out of touch with what's going on. This guy here, he is arguing about something that he has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. And look, I don't like talking politics on this channel, I don't. But the only time I talk politics on this channel is when it affects YouTube or human rights. And this is just ridiculous. So let's watch this right now, and we're going to break all this stuff down here.
Mr. Henley, I am kind of curious from your perspective. I know that you made that was very clear in your opening statement that you think there's a need for changes, but do you want to speak some to why you believe that that's necessary from a technological perspective?
Yes, sir, I'd be happy to. Thank you. The notice unduly burdensome on the artists. Let me just give you a perspective of the magnitude of the problem.
The first thing he says when he says it's burdensome on the artists. What about the creators, people on YouTube? How many YouTube channels have been abused by this copyright system with these ridiculous music companies?
There are currently about 6 billion posts on YouTube. And out of those 6 billion posts, 4 billion of them are unclaimed. And out of those 6 billion posts, 84% of them contain music. Now let's say it takes 2 minutes to file a claim. So at 2 minutes per claim, it would take 200 million hours to claim them and take them all down. At minimum wage, it would cost $2 billion. Of course, by then there would probably be another billion posts on YouTube. So,
oh my God. Where do I start with this? He is basically saying that 84% of YouTube videos contain music. Oh my God. Now look, he is making it seem, the way that he's framing this issue, he's making it seem like the majority of videos on YouTube contain copyrighted material, the way that he's framing it. That is not true. The majority of videos on YouTube do not contain copyrighted material. I know this for a fact of all. I have been using YouTube for over a decade. I have watched hundreds of thousands of videos in my lifetime. And there have been very few videos that I've actually come across that you could say, yeah, that is an actual copyright claim right there. That is, because the majority of the time when I see a copyright claim, 95% of the time, it's a fraudulent copyright claim. And I'll tell you something, Mr. Henley. You know, when you're saying that all these videos, 84% or whatever number you're saying, all these billions of videos that have music in them, did you think about it that maybe somebody is playing a video game and doing a walkthrough on their channel, and maybe there's some music playing in the background for a few seconds, or maybe somebody's even doing a vlog on their channel. They're recording themselves with a phone. They're walking down the street. They walk right next to a store. That store is playing music. They get a few seconds of copyrighted material in that video. You see, then what happens? That is why that he's not telling the whole story right here. So when he's claiming that all these billions of videos, that they have copyrighted material, that is simply not true. That's not true. They might have a few seconds of like music playing in the background if they're playing a video game, if they're walking around in public and they hear like a song playing in the background. They're not intentionally going and like recording music and uploading it to YouTube. Yes, there are people that upload copyrighted material when they upload full songs and so forth. But that's not what goes on with the majority of videos on YouTube. So how ridiculous is that? 84% of the videos, he's saying, could be claimed. Do you know how much of a disaster that would be if 84% of all the videos on YouTube had a copyright claim? You know how much of a disaster that would be? I think that the majority of YouTubers at that point would just get off YouTube. YouTube would just flat out die, and they would go to a different platform at that point. So what he's basically arguing for is the destruction of YouTube.
So, as has already been said, as you said, this is an endless game of whack-a-mole, and the notice and takedown system is badly broken. Universal Music Group administrates the publishing for the Eagles and for myself, and they have a team of 60 people. 60 people who sit in a room with computers, and all they do all day long, 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, is deal with the platforms such as YouTube and Facebook. They file claims and they issue takedown notices for the Eagles and for myself. And those amount to between 200 and 500 claims a week.
That's it?
And when a claim is filed, the person who uploads the infringing content can appeal that claim, can dispute that claim. And there's a process where it goes back and forth. You have claim, you have appeal, and then you have a counter notice. And that process can go on and on until finally a stalemate is reached. If the uploader refuses to take down the infringing content, then the artist, the person who created that content, has no choice except to file a lawsuit within 10 days. Now, most...
Okay, oh man, that's a lot of stuff to break down there. The second that I heard him describing Universal Music Group as good people is, oh man. And when I said that's it, because he said 500 claims a week from maybe just his music alone. UMG, any YouTuber, anybody that does YouTube a lot, uploads a lot of YouTube videos, they can tell you, and it's gotten so crazy with UMG that almost every single YouTuber at this point has had at least one video copyright claimed by UMG. That is how insane UMG are with their copyright claims. These guys are the biggest abusers of copyright, Mr. Henley. They abuse copyright so much. UMG are basically like the music mafia, where they will find a few seconds, just a few seconds of supposed copyright material in any video, and they will claim that video, then they'll monetize it, and they'll put a bunch of ads on that video. None of that revenue goes to the creator, and they're essentially ripping off the creator and taking their hard work for a few seconds of supposed copyright material and profiting from it. And what he's saying here is not true. When he's saying about the whole dispute system, I'll tell you how the whole dispute system works. Like I said earlier, if I get a copyright claim from, let's say, UMG, like Mr. Henley here is saying, if I try to dispute that claim, do you know who reviews that claim? UMG. The exact same people that make the claim against you are the people that review it. And do you know what happens at that point? They have 30 days to respond. 30 days. And my video at that point is not monetized for the next 30 days. They could monetize it for the next 30 days, and they have to respond within 30 days. If they don't respond within 30 days, then the claim is released and the video is monetized in my favor again. But most of the time, they will look at the claim and they'll say, no, we were in the right, and they uphold their claim. At that point, you can complain to YouTube and you can make a second claim. And if YouTube doesn't agree with you, your channel gets a strike. And with the first strike, I think your videos are limited to only 15 minutes, and I don't think you can live stream. With the second strike, it's even worse, and the third strike, your channel gets deleted. Like that. And guess what? If UMG are found to be in the wrong, they don't get any kind of punishment. They don't get a strike. They don't get their copyright privileges revoked. And Mr. Henley, let me show you something. I'm going to show you guys something on my channel of what his friends at UMG have done. Let me show you guys what UMG have done to my channel. This right here, this is the stupidest copyright claim that I have ever gotten in my life. This crap right here. Now, this is from November, and I'm sorry if I'm, raising my voice here, but this crap really pisses me off. And, normally I'm a very patient person. I don't tend to get really angry in my videos, but this copyright abuse, this has been going on for so long, and I get really pissed off when I put a lot of hard work into a video, and then stuff like this happens. So this is the stupidest copyright claim I've ever gotten in my life. Now, this video here, I uploaded this video in November. This was when Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order came out. It was a new game. I had a lot of fun with this game. I liked this game a lot. And I did a walkthrough on this game. I put it all into one video. And I had a lot of editing with that video. And I made an 11-hour video in total. I didn't sit there and play for 11 hours straight, but this took me days to put together. I would record segments, I would take breaks, I'll put it all together. I had to edit out all my death scenes in the game. Put the whole video together, was 11 hours and 13 minutes, game from start to finish. And guess what? Even though it's an 11-hour video, I got a copyright claim from, guess who? UMG, the same people that Mr. Henley here is defending and claiming are good people. And do you know what they copyrighted? They copyrighted 11 seconds. 11 seconds in an 11-hour video. And because of that, they were able to take credit for my whole video. And look at this. Ad revenue paid to copyright owner. So they have stolen my video. They stole my Jedi Fallen Order video. And this video I think has like 25,000 views. I'd have to check it again. But they stole this video. And they were making money off of my walkthrough that I spent days putting together. And I'm going to play this segment right now here. I'm just warning you guys, if you haven't played Jedi Fallen Order, there's a major spoiler here. So let me play this right here. And I'm not going to play it with volume because then I'm going to get another copyright claim on this video. But right here, this scene was when Cal's master dies. And a lot of people were telling me, why don't you just edit out the 11 seconds? I can't do that because if I edit out the 11 seconds, it's going to be a major spoiler in the game, a major character's death scene. It's going to ruin the walkthrough if I take out this section. And on top of that, if I muted the clip, people would not be able to hear what they're saying. So it would still be ruined. So this right here is a perfect example of copyright abuse, that they can claim my whole video, take all the revenue from the video based on just 11 seconds alone. But it gets worse, guys. It gets even worse. Take a look at this. This is from a Star Wars Battlefront 2 stream that I did a few weeks ago. And all I did was I was just playing the game. I was just playing a few matches. Look at how many copyright claims I got from UMG in this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And ad revenue paid to the copyright owner, monetized in some countries. Pretty much the entire world is on here. UMG on behalf of Walt Disney Records. And what were they copywriting in my walkthrough? Do you know what they were copywriting? They were copywriting background music in a Star Wars game. I play a Star Wars game, there's going to be some Star Wars music in the background. I'm not uploading full Star Wars songs on my channel. I'm not uploading the full Star Wars soundtrack. I'm just playing Battlefront 2 on a live stream. That's all I'm doing. And, I could mute the video. I could do that. But it would be stupid to, mute Star Wars music in a Star Wars game. I shouldn't have to do that. This is clearly fair use. All I'm doing is I'm playing the game. I'm not uploading full music. This is fair use, but yet this is not the way that UMG sees it. And YouTube has been really bad. Very, very bad with trying to figure this out and trying to actually fix this system. So Mr. Henley is an out-of-touch celebrity. He's an out-of-touch celebrity. He has no idea how this whole copyright claim system works and how much it abuses creators. And that's why you should bring actual YouTube creators to testify before Congress. And I wish I was there. I wish I was there. I would have told him right there on TV. I would have told Mr. Henley, look, You can see right here, this is clear copyright abuse. I would have shown this proof to Congress alone, and I would have talked about how his friends at UMG literally abused the copyright system, milk channels, steal revenue from creators that worked so hard. How many creators have been hit by false copyright claims because of UMG, because of this music mafia garbage? So Mr. Henley has no idea what he's talking about. Let's see if he has anything left to say.
Most artists cannot. They don't have the time or the wherewithal to file lawsuits. So the process is again, simply overly burdensome on the artists. It's a ridiculous process. It's an outdated process. And artists shouldn't have to deal with it. Our job is to create music, to create art. Our job is not to police the internet.
Well, guess what? As a creator on YouTube, my job is to create content for my subs, for you guys to enjoy. And I can't do that. I can't do my job. I can't create content for you guys to enjoy when I have people like UMG, the music mafia, literally stalking my videos and then making copyright claims on it and then stealing my revenue. What is the point in putting hours and hours and hours of work into a video, editing that whole thing together, creating a thumbnail for it, putting it out, if some greedy music company is going to come out of nowhere and say, haha, 5 seconds of copyrighted material, this stuff is now ours. Really? And when he's saying, we're not here to police the internet, that's exactly what UMG are doing. But UMG aren't even policing the internet. They're not policing. They're extorting the internet. That's what they're doing. Like I said, they are the music mafia. And when he's saying, we don't have time for lawsuits and all that, well, Mr. Henley, I would ask you, how do you feel about fraudulent claims? Fraudulent copyright claims, because he's talking so much about how the artists are victims of this, how the artists are victims of copyright claims. What about all the creators that are victims of false copyright abuse? And I guarantee you, if I had told Don Henley to his face right there, I told him, okay, how about this? How about we also do it both ways? We make it strict both ways. That if somebody uploads, copyrighted material, it should be taken down. I mean, very few people agree with that. If somebody uploads copyrighted material, okay, take it down. But if somebody makes a fraudulent claim against me, I can sue them. And I can sue Mr. Henley's friends, UMG, and I can sue his music companies, and I can take them to court. And I can take millions of dollars from them in lawsuits. If YouTube creators could do something like that, you would have all of these music companies and all these artists back off the copyright. Oh, no, we can get sued too? No. They would all just back off that at that point. They would say, no, okay, it's fine the way it is. That's what they would do at that point. So, these people, all they're doing is just pretty much looking out for themselves and looking to profit as much as possible. And look, I'm not attacking Don Henley here on a personal level. That is not my goal. Maybe he just doesn't know about all this stuff, He's an older guy, he probably doesn't spend that much time on the internet. Maybe he doesn't know about all this copyright abuse. But if you're going to be speaking, and I'm trying to be as respectful as I can, if you're going to be testifying before Congress, then you got to know what you're talking about. And you got to have all the facts, and you got to be doing your research. But here, what he's talking about, he has no idea what he's talking about. Look at my channel alone, Mr. Henley. 11 seconds and 11-hour video, and they're stealing my video because of it. How ridiculous is that?
For infringing content, that is the job of the huge platforms. The huge platforms claim that they're simply a conduit through which pass all this content. But they engage with that content, they curate that content, they manage that content. Again, they can identify likes and dislikes, but they can't seem to identify copyrighted material.
Again, these music companies with YouTube have bot systems, and YouTube has their own bot systems as well, in which they detect copyrighted material. But the majority of the time, when this bot system detects copyrighted material, it's not actual copyrighted material. It's just few seconds of a song. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And look, he's trying to blame YouTube at this point. Do you know how many people use YouTube? How many people around the world use YouTube? Millions, hundreds of millions of people use YouTube. How many videos are uploaded in a day? Probably millions of videos. I don't know the exact number of YouTube videos that are uploaded in a single day on average, but I'm guessing it's got to be, hundreds of thousands to even million. That's how many videos are probably uploaded on YouTube a day. How is YouTube meant to police all of that stuff? How is YouTube supposed to be? YouTube shouldn't be responsible for all that stuff. It falls on the individual creator. It's their responsibility. If somebody's uploading copyright stuff on their channel, that's their fault. And that's the person that should be punished, not YouTube. But in this case, these companies are punishing creators for something that's not their fault. And they're just constantly extorting them. It's just ridiculous. It needs to stop. And why do these politicians and why does Congress never look at this from the creator's perspective? Why do they always bring in these music companies? They bring in these celebrities that have no idea what they're talking about. Bring in the creators. Bring in actual people that make YouTube videos and do YouTube videos for a living. You know, people that have experience with the platform. And they can talk to you. Also, you can have a counter. You can have a counter testimony. You can have a testimony from somebody on the other side that talks about how these people abuse it. Because like I said, very, very, very few people support copyrighted material being on YouTube. If somebody's uploading copyrighted material, and if somebody's uploading your songs, Mr. Henley, if somebody's trying to upload your songs and they're trying to make money off of it, then I agree with you. They shouldn't be doing that. But if somebody is playing a video game and there's a few seconds of a song playing in the background, something that's out of their control, that's not their fault. And sometimes in a lot of video games that you play, even if you turn down the music volume in the game, some cutscenes will still have songs playing in the background, even when you take down the music volume. And that is ridiculous, that you can have your whole video stolen from you for a few seconds as supposed copyright material. It's just ridiculous.
There's a process that has been instituted, which again is simply not working. The content ID, they call it. Our publishing administrator many years ago contacted Google and asked them if they could please cooperate with us in taking down infringing content. And they said, well, if you will send us your copyright registration numbers, we can flag your content and take it down. Never happened. Then she was eventually, after a year, led to this content ID business.
How many videos are taken down because of the content ID system? Really?
But the content ID is like a big net with huge holes in it. Millions of infringing content falls through the content ID process.
Yes, and guess what? Millions of non-infringing content also is victim to the content ID system.
It's not effective at all.
I agree with him to that extent. It's not effective, but what it's doing is it's the opposite of what he's actually saying in it not being effective. It's not doing its job correctly. Instead, it's punishing people that are just uploading regular videos, and their content is being stolen by these music companies.
It's not effective to establish an effective repeat infringer policy. It ignores red flags with respect to patterns of infringement by certain users. YouTube often touts content ID as an unrequired benefit to rights holders. It is not an unrequired benefit to rights holders. It's far from perfect. Again, still allowing millions of unauthorized content to slip through the system.
Let's see what else he has to say. I'll skip through this a little bit here.
And stay down regulation, who is representing authors. There needs to be a notice and stay down regulation. Because
notice and stay down. Basically, what he's arguing for is that the second that the content ID system detects anything that's copyrighted, that video will automatically get taken down. This is even worse than the copyright claims, because that means that that Star Wars Battlefront stream that I got, I would have gotten a copyright strike for that. I would have gotten a copyright strike for that 11 seconds as well. 2 copyright strikes like that. Third one, my channel would get deleted. And years of hard work that I've put in this channel would be gone like that because of what this guy wants. I can't watch anymore. I just can't. I know he still talks a little bit more. I'll put the whole video down below, guys, but I just can't watch this. And I'm sorry for the length of this video. This video is like approaching 20 minutes at this point. But this crap really pisses me off. And seriously, what the hell? Just like the title, what the hell? Like, I don't really tend to curse a lot, but this crap just pisses me off. This is just so stupid. And look, like I said, I don't have anything against this guy personally. You know, he makes some good music, but he just does not understand this to the full extent. And like I said, if you're going to testify before Congress, please get all the facts and understand exactly what you're talking about. It shouldn't be that hard to do research. And he went into this whole thing. He went into this whole testimony looking at it from his perspective. That's all he did. He did not once look at it from the perspective of the creator. People that, do you realize, Mr. Henley, that people do YouTube for a living? Just like you do music for a living, you do your concerts, you do your albums for a living. There are people that do YouTube for a living and work very hard on this platform, only for music companies that you defend and claim are good people to abuse the system and steal revenue from creators, like some kind of music mafia. But that is pretty much it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think of this down below. This is so ridiculous. I'll link this video down below. And if you guys enjoyed my video, drop a like. And if you're new to my channel, enjoy my content, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.